Hey crafty friends, this is Nye. So today what we are going to do, we are going to assemble our Ornament Merry Christmas shadow box. Now, as you can see, I have all of my pieces. I have them cut out. I have them stacked in the order that I'm going to put them together. I also have my foam dots. These are like my regular sized ones. And then I also have some micro dots. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you have some micro dots because some of the layers are going to be a little bit thinner and we just need some smaller dots to get everything to adhere correctly. I've also got my tweezers I'm going to be using because working with the foam dots, it's always, how do I say this? It's always a little tricky and sometimes it's not fun. So I've got these tweezers. I've also got these new ones. I'm still trying to decide how much I really like them. So you might see me flip between both of them. And then I also have my shadow box here that I'm going to put my design in when I finish. So I'm just going to put this off to the side and then I'll bring it back up when we're ready to add it to the box. Okay. So I think we're ready to get started. What I'm going to do is, so I'm going to take out my micro dots so you can see, I'll add a link to these that I purchased off of Amazon in the blog post. So I'm going to take these out of the wrapping just so I have them and they're ready to go. And what I'm going to do now is I have everything here. I'm going to take it and just flip it over and I'm going to work from the back to the front. I'm also going to flip this navy one here, but I'm also going to just kind of keep it because this is the one that I'm going to start with. Okay. So I'm going to kind of speed up the video and slow things down here as we're going, only because it's just going to be a lot of adding the foam dots here to the design. And so it's going to be pretty much the same thing. But all I did was I just added my dots down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and just take off this upper layer of kind of like sticky paper here that is always on there to kind of keep them from sticking to the plastic. And so if you remember in the email that I sent out this morning, I told you my inspiration for this design here. My daughter and I, a couple weeks ago, we went to a glass blowing studio and we got to create our own ornaments and we got to blow our own ornaments. And it was just a fun experience for both of us. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I'm going to have to go back in the spring to see what else I can create there. It was just so much fun. We both had a great time. I don't have my ornaments here so I could show you guys, but if you got the email, I stuck a picture of them in there so that way you could see. And so when you're going to just remove these papers, it's really tricky. It can be really sticky and hard. I haven't found a secret to taking them off quickly and easily. If you've got one, please feel free to share it with me. I always find this part like really cumbersome. So, all right, here we go. There we go. So this part is the most time consuming, I find, is taking off these little white pieces of paper that kind of keep the foam dots from sticking everywhere. And like I said, I haven't found a secret to this yet, to speeding this part of the process up. But they're kind of a necessity when you're doing shadow boxes because they really add that depth and perspective to the design. All right, so we're almost done. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make sure that I get everything lined up. So you can do it this way where you can hold it and then just use your hands to kind of help you to meet it together. And then you can press it down and just be really gentle, you know, kind of remember where you put those foam dots. All right, and now we're going to do the same thing here with this lighter blue one. And again, I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to stick more to the edges here because I really want to make sure that I'm getting the edges to stick. And I'm going to keep the regular speed until I'm ready to add a layer of the micro dots so you guys can see that one. I'm pretty sure that there are 3 layers. I've kind of already thought the process through a little. 3 layers for that I'm going to use those micro dots on. So this is my second layer. Eek. If you guys really know a secret to taking these off better, please, please share it with me. Because I would certainly make more shadow boxes. I just find this part of the process super tedious. So I'm like, meh. All right. Goodness, there we go. Okay, so like I was saying too, so my daughter and I, we went to the glass blowing, and it was just really interesting to see how you create the ornaments by picking up the glass out of the oven, and then the process that you use to adding the colors into it. It was very fun. It was hot. Oh my goodness, the heat was astounding. And then even just learning how they cool at the very end, that was just, it was quite the experience. My daughter, she loved it. She's like, I want to go back, Mommy. I was like, okay, well, we'll see. Because it was a special one that she was able to go to, because most of them are for 14 and up or 16 and up. So you do have to be kind of older. This one was for 6 and up because it didn't really take that long. It was only a 15-minute experience, but she really loved it. And even just learning some of the science behind the actual glass blowing was really neat to see too. All right, so we're coming now to the end here, and there's a lot of sticky on my tweezers as well, which I think is why it's kind of taking a hard time as well. Hopefully I'm still in my camera. I always get nervous when I get towards the bottom because I feel like I'm coming out of the view, which you guys already know if you've been following along. Okay, and now this last one here. Eek. Okay. All right, so I've got this light blue layer, which is the start of my ornaments. And what I'm going to do is the same thing again. I'm going to hold it up, and then I'm going to kind of put it right here at the edge, and then just press it back, and then I can put it down. Okay. I'm really just making sure that I'm getting those edges where I know I have my foam dots. And you can already see it. Oh, this is the one thing I love about the shadow boxes, is that it just really creates that perspective and that dimension to it. All right, let me put this up here. And now we're going to use our micro dots. Okay, so I'm going to use the micro dots here on this white layer. Let me flip it back over. Probably for this pink one here, this darker pink, and then for the darker green, and then again for this yellow one. Only because those have a little bit more detail to it. The same thing with this white one. And so these will be too big. Like these squares will be too big here along the design of the ornament. And same thing here. So that's why I'm going to use my micro dots. So I'm going to do this layer. And then after I finish this layer, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video. So I'm going to use the same thing, but this time I'm going to use my tweezers to put the micro dots down, only because they're so tiny to work with. And so you can kind of see it here as I'm going. If you end up grabbing 2, it's all right. It's not a big deal. That one I kind of got the paper. Perhaps not. There it goes. I might need to use my tweezers, my other tweezers at the same time here. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. I think it's super fun and cute. I'm going to put, you know what? I'm going to come over here and do this one here. And then let me see if I can just get one tiny one to put right there. I don't know if you can hear it too, but my neighbor, he has some dogs and they are barking up a storm right now. Of course, right? Right when I go to make a video, oh, that's when all the doggies come out, but it's okay. All right. So I'm going to add those there. Let me push this up a little bit more. And then I'm just going to add a couple right in here. All right. And then once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to remove the backs of the foam dots, and then I'll go to the next layer. So what I'm going to do now is, because you kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, and I'll slow it down once I get towards the end. Okay, so that is intense, right? What probably only took a couple seconds for you guys has really taken a lot longer for me. And mine, I think, is a little off right here, and I'm concerned that I might run into a little difficulty getting this down into the shadow box. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it down like this, and make sure that everything is here on the ground or on the table, pressing this up against my hand. And then I'm just finishing it off right there. That's a little off. I can see it. So this will fit perfectly inside. I believe it's a 9x9 shadow box. I've got to look again. All right, let me get it. Okay, so does it have it on there? No, I'm pretty sure it's a 9x9 shadow box. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm just going to pull it out. It's got the insert here. And let's see, moment of truth. Will it just slide right in? Perfect. That's what we like to see, right? Perfect. Okay. And so let's make it go this way. And then I'm just going to close it up. Whoops, let's go. Oh, it's getting caught on this one right here. All right. There we go. And let me flip it over, and oh, voila. Doesn't that look great? You can probably see the reflection of my light, but that's okay. It looks amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this craft. Like I said, if you've got a tip on how to add those foam dots so it's not so tedious and it doesn't take so long, please send me a message, make a comment, let me know. I need to know. All right, so be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Happy crafting.